We are 3 weeks today from the hospital, and we're just now getting back to recording the podcast. We have two in mind that we want to do. One, which is this one, talking about... Wait, what did we say specifically? What were we talking about?
I think this one's going to be about, like, the birth process, like, time at the hospital, how all that went. And then the next one's going to be, like, just talking about the last 3 weeks at home.
So the postpartum, like, process.
Yes.
Yes. So, guess where we're at today? We are in Asher's room. We set up, and
Asher.
you guys can see it. I really like it, honestly. This was not any of my idea. It was all hers, but I helped with some of it. Where did your inspiration come from with this?
You.
What?
I think you said, like, you know, we wanted, like, a aesthetic, like a neutral aesthetic. Oh, I'm so sorry. Can you guys hear me better? I want to stare at you, but I also want to stare at my son. But yes, so sound is probably not my highest priority. Anyways, I think we talked like a couple years even before we thought about trying for kids. And we were like, we don't want crazy patterns. We don't want crazy, like, splashes of color everywhere. We want, like, you know, simple. So, and I know that you really like simple. I mean, look at your outfit. I still have a pattern.
Simple. I have green on today.
Yeah, that's crazy. I don't know why he has green on. He bought green pants. I was just as shocked as everyone else.
Oh my gosh.
Because literally 2 months ago he was like, I'm getting rid of everything and I'm only gonna buy black. Look at him now. Anyways,
Target had a sale, so I had to.
Those are my favorite words.
What?
Target had a sale.
Oh my gosh.
Anyways, so I just kind of like, when I thought of our son, I thought green. And so that's where the green wall came from. And then other things are just kind of like neutrals. Mm-hmm. But I didn't really want to be like all browns or all grays. Mm-hmm. So I threw in browns and grays. And so this is how we ended up with this. And if you want to see a tour of the nursery, check out my TikTok.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I was like, wait, we don't have a video up on YouTube. Yeah.
Or check out our TikTok.
Oh, yeah.
Because he's going to post them soon.
We'll
I tried to do it, but...
Declines. Yeah. Yeah. It's called Decline. I think it's just Declines, maybe underscore on TikTok. But yeah, we'll post it on there. I like it a lot. I like the wood. I like the Tiki Wiki TP tent. And
I will say, though, I do understand safe sleep, and that when Asher can, like, roll over in his crib, that will be fastened to the wall more than 3 feet away so that he cannot reach it. Because I understand that if a baby can grab onto fabric from a crib, I understand that that is not safe sleep. And I will be doing that.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so that's the room. I don't know, maybe, I think it'd be fun at some point, maybe, to do like a actual, here's my baby room tour. But I feel like we have to wait till he gets of age to be using it so that we can, like, tweak it and buy more stuff or get rid of stuff in here that we don't like before we make a video. But anyways, so maybe
and some of these are just props from his office, so leave in a comment what you think actually belongs in here and what's a prop from his office.
Huh. Yeah, they're the...
Yeah, Asher's like, see?
The faker. Okay, so I guess let's start with, I kind of had an idea of, we could start with what our expectations were.
Oh, wait, I forgot. Sorry. I'm going to do a segment that we can start off every podcast with.
Okay.
The people want it.
Okay.
I'm the people.
Okay.
How much sleep did you get last night?
Oh, okay.
That's a good segment. How much sleep did you get?
Last night, honestly, I didn't get much sleep.
He was editing. It was not because of the baby, though.
No, it was because of... I did not sleep much last night. That's why I slept today in the middle of the day, because I was so tired.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. He just woke up a few times. I don't know. How much did he wake up last night?
Twice.
Yeah. Well, those woke me up and kept me up for some reason.
Oh.
So I was awake, and so um I was in bed at 12 though. So and I got up. I like jumped up at 6. So maybe with between 12 and 6, at 6 hours, I slept a solid 3.5 to 4, maybe. How much sleep did you get?
Probably from that time to that time, about the same. But then he takes them at 6. So I do like the overnight 11 to 6.
Hmm.
And so I'll be up for like an hour about twice. Change him, feed him, get him
We'll
back
talk
down.
more about that in the next one,
Yes.
the next podcast.
But then I get a 3-hour stretch from 6 to 9. So 7, 8 hours maybe.
Gotcha. Yeah. Oh, and then I nap during the day. Okay, so hospital. Let's talk about the hospital. So we're gonna go from what our expectations were to what actually happened, or yeah, let's just do expectations to what happened in reality. Okay, so what were your expectations going in? Like, what did you think? Like, not just the hospital. Like, at home, what did you like? Like, let's start from day before we're supposed to go in. What did you think would happen?
So I think going into it, I had all my bags packed. I had like a to-do list of, you know, like make sure like our bed was made and make sure that like the floors were like vacuumed. There were no dishes in the sink because we'd be gone for a couple of days. The cats were fed. Yeah, stuff like that. But I thought we'd just like go grab Chick-fil-A and head to the hospital. Some people have to call in if they're
Yeah.
getting like an elective induction.
How long did you think we'll be there?
I was assuming that we'd come home on Monday from like the beginning because
You were assuming we would go in what day?
Friday.
Friday, come home Monday.
Yeah, because I would assume that he would have been born on sometime Saturday.
Okay, which was the 15th? Okay. So my expectations were honestly, I think pretty much the same as far as time in the hospital before. I don't know. I just thought that maybe you would probably be in pain. I don't know. In my head, I imagine you being in pain a little bit, like I'm ready to go. We got to go. And so I don't know. Maybe it's because even though I know it was like it was planned.
Yeah, I had an induction, so I wasn't having contractions when we showed up to the hospital.
Okay, now reality. What ended up happening?
So you can see our vlog if you don't know the full story. But basically, we got a call around 2 on Friday saying that like maybe you can come in at 7. We're probably gonna get you in today, but there's not room right now.
And we were supposed to be in at 4.
Yeah. So maybe around 7. And then I think I called at 9
Well, then we went and watched The Little Mermaid to pass time.
and a dinner.
And then we ate Blaze, which was good. She loves Blaze. That's her favorite, right?
I would say it's like my favorite pizza place, yes. But then when I called at 9, they said not, I think they either said like not yet, we'll call you back. We'll probably get in at midnight. And she was like really assuring that like if you want to come in tonight, then it'll probably be at midnight. But we will call you back to confirm. And then I think she called back at 11 and was like, yes, midnight. And then I was like, I need a last meal because that's what I kept thinking. I need a last meal. And so we went to McDonald's.
That night?
Yes, we went to McDonald's because I saw on TikTok.
Oh no, we didn't.
Yes, we did. Because we went to McDonald's. You went to McDonald's twice.
On the way there. On the way
Wait,
there.
wait. Let me finish. Then I'll remind you why you went twice.
Okay.
I saw on TikTok there was a cookies and cream pie, and that's what I wanted. I was like, that's the only thing that sounds good. So we went. I was like, I want French fries, a Sprite, and a cookies and cream pie. I was like, this is my last meal. Because we'd already eaten dinner. I was full, and I just like wanted a snack because it was like midnight.
Wait, who did you see have it on lawn?
Trisha Paytas. But that's true. Anyways, but I think our McDonald's, it was coming out the next day or like 2 days later. So I ended up having one like Sunday night, I think. I think it was Sunday night. He went to go grab them and it's like, look what I got. Yeah, because I had one after he was born and he brought me like 3 of them and I think we only ate like 2 of them. But on the way, did that.
Wait, so when we were on the way,
See, it's all confusing. I don't know what actually happened.
So I think what happened is we went to the McDonald's that was close to us on the way to the hospital. We had already eaten. We left early. We were like, ooh, let's go get some dessert because we had the pizza. And the one we went to, which
and
was
we had
closed.
popcorn at the movie theater.
Oh, yeah. The one that we went to that was closed was like, what? We didn't even know.
The workers didn't even know about it.
And then he was like, oh, we get that tomorrow.
Yeah.
And so then what happened is we went to the hospital. We were there. It was Saturday night. Did we go? We went in Saturday?
We went in like midnight. So like got there 11:59 p.m. Friday night to describe that. Saturday morning. Like.
I remember leaving a few times. So I'm trying to track that because if I can remember which time that was that I left, then it'd be easy. But the first time I left was to get coffee from Starbucks across the street. And that was...
I ate it. Mm-hmm. I did not eat anything on Saturday. So there's no...
Yeah, so it had to be Sunday.
Yeah, and it was in the like postpartum room. So it was definitely Sunday.
Yeah, it definitely was. Okay.
It was like late, but it was definitely Sunday when...
Yeah, little foreshadow, little foreshadow there. Okay, so now we got there.
That took like 5 minutes to figure out when we had these
pies.
pies.
Just to figure out when we had McDonald's. But we got there on Saturday instead of Friday, 12 o'clock, and...
Which wasn't like too bad.
Yeah.
Because the first thing they do is they like, they pump you with some medicine and they're like, okay, now you go to sleep for 12 hours.
Yeah.
So it wasn't really that bad.
And then we just slept the whole night, right? Yeah.
You slept.
Gotcha. You didn't?
I mean, I think I was just like nervous and uncomfortable, and people are checking on me every 25 seconds, and I have to get used to an IV in my arm, which was uncomfortable, and there was like straps checking his heart rate, my heart rate, contractions.
Not mine. The baby's.
Yeah. We can say his name, Asher.
Oh, Asher. Yeah, we can say Asher. Yeah. Okay. So then we woke up. Wait, and so basically we briefly explained the process last time. It's like you go through one thing. We're supposed to be going through one thing on Friday, which was, what's the name of it?
They just kind of prep your body.
Yeah, so the preparation, and then Saturday was supposed to start. Assuming we came in Saturday, it was supposed to start the Pitocin. Mm-hmm. Rawr.
He said rawr because he literally told the nurses that this sounds like dinosaur stuff.
And they told me a lot of medicine is Latin. And so, there we go. But I've changed. I've changed since then. I think
I've changed.
Instead of it sounding like dinosaur names, it sounds like Harry Potter spells.
Yes, you did say that as well.
Wait, I'm pretty sure there's one that it sounds pretty similar to that I'm thinking of.
Something like Patronum.
Yes.
Patronum, yes.
I know. No, yes. Patronum is something else.
Patronum is like...
You can't hear that word.
Okay. I think there's a Harry Potter spell that ends like that.
Okay. So you start because we came in Saturday. You didn't start pitocin on Saturday because the preparation took 12 hours.
I did.
You did. You did start it on
Because
Saturday.
it's like the very first hour is when we came in on Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
So 12 a.m. to 11 a.m. My I was like getting prepped with like other medicines.
Mm-hmm.
And then at 11, my doctor came and then we started Pitocin. She like cleared me for Pitocin and then the epidural and then just more.
Yeah. So you got okay. So you got your epidural.
Saturday afternoon. In the vlog, it looks like I got a meal between the time I ordered and the time that it was delivered. I was like, these contractions hurt. I need an epidural.
So that's another thing that we were not expecting. Our thoughts going in was that she was not going to be able to have anything at all.
I was hoping for like a popsicle. I was hoping for popsicle and like chicken broth, which that's what I got throughout the whole time that I was allowed to have until I think I had the epidural.
But you didn't even, correct me if I'm wrong, but you didn't expect that after you had a certain medicine. We didn't expect her to be able to have anything after she had
I didn't
Pitocin.
think that once I got there. I thought that once I walked into the hospital, I would not be eating until he was out of my body.
Yeah, that was not, yeah, she was able to have multiple things. What were you able to
It was
have?
like a clear liquid diet. So I could have like various juices, popsicles,
And not even all
Sprites.
clear the whole time. Because, like you said, you had the option to have a meal.
Yes, right before we started Pitocin, she offered, and she said, yes, you can, I mean, you've been here a while, like, go ahead and eat something. But then I decided that the pain was really bad, and I was like, I don't even want to eat anything. I'm about to throw up.
So she ordered the meal.
I ordered a quesadilla.
And in the time of them making the food, she began to feel a lot of pain. And so she was like, I need the epidural now. Because they had told her, from this point on, if you need the epidural, just let us know. And
Because I was told, I've heard from like other vlogs and other like content creators, and like even they told me that they said that like once you order an epidural, it could take 45 minutes to an hour to get it. And so whenever you're like, I think I want it, like you need to say something then.
yeah. So she got it, but in the process of them like placing the epidural is when the food came in, and they were like, what do you want us to put this?" And so they just sat it down. I tried it. I couldn't have it because like it was too much cheese. I'm lactose intolerant. I wasn't trying to be sick while I was there. I was trying to be as healthy. He said, "Me too."
He might be lactose intolerant. He got tummy problems right now.
I know. I feel it.
You feel his tummy problems.
So I couldn't have it. I tried it. I was like, nah, I can't do this. So then you got the epidural on Saturday.
Yes.
Around.
I do not
It was
know.
like right afternoon. It was still within lunchtime because you were able to order lunch.
No.
But it was too late for you to order breakfast. I do remember that.
So I think it was like 11:30ish. I think it was like right around noon.
Yeah.
When I got it. Finally got it.
So about 12 hours in, she got the epidural. And then, yeah, it was pretty chill after that for a long time. I mean, there were a lot of wake-ups and things, but really, like, right? I'm trying to think of another highlight that may have happened.
It was really just like a waiting game. And so even like in my mind, the fact that he wasn't even born until Sunday afternoon, that kind of blows my mind that like we just waited and waited and waited and waited. But I knew that. I had told you that. I was like, you're going to be bored. Like, we're both going to be bored. And then he went home like 2 or 3 times.
Yeah. So during the process, like, it was so chill. And, like, there were multiple nurses coming in and checking on her. No less than every 2 hours, but every hour for sure. And so there's just stuff I can't even help with. Like, if she needs to get up and go to the bathroom, that's a nurse thing. And they said, like, we'll show you what to unplug and all this stuff. But our nurses were really, really nice. They would just, like, let us know and we'll come help you. I think that had a lot to do with even though we got pushed back in the time on Friday. Once we got there, it was like people were going out of the door, and so there were quite a few nurses. Um, like whenever I walked out by the nurse center, they were all just like hanging out there pretty much because I think they became overstaffed from all the people who had just left. That makes sense. So I
Hmm.
think that's why you got maybe that could be a reason why you got a lot of more attention.
Well, our hospital specifically, like within like the description of everything, they assign one person, one nurse, and so there was one person dedicated to my care the whole time.
Yeah, but even when you had your one nurse and they were on shift, I feel like there was another one who would always come in. Not like a specific person. I'm just saying, like within 2 hours, 3 hours, it's safe to say you would see two different nurses every time.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure that she would have to take breaks every once in a while. And there was like a lead nurse, and so the lead nurse would come in, and then also like it just wasn't just the nurse, like the anesthesiologist came in, and like different people would come in and check different things.
Mm.
Um,
So one of the things we did know going in is that we would have food. Like they had lunch. I mean, for like, so you're allowed to have two people stay with you overnight. There's two. There's a couch in there, and there is a chair that also lets out into like a. It can fold all the way out, and you can lay on it. They also provided bedding as far as like blankets. No, not blankets. They provided sheets and pillows, and so your two people who are in there, plus if the nurse cleared Lauren, are able to get like free meals. So that's breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
no, it was just two total meals.
Oh, really?
But if I like had another person, I could have had a second person stay the night, yes, but we would only like the charge of the hospital stay. It was two meals.
Okay, so we could get two meals per meal time, and you couldn't eat like breakfast all day long. It was a cutoff time, but we didn't know that until like
I knew that I would get meals, but I didn't know that you would.
yeah, we didn't know that until like they asked her on Saturday, and so even at that point though, um, yeah, like over the weekend is still limited as far as like it's not the cafeteria is not open, so you have to order. They have a Starbucks in there that's really not a Starbucks. I don't even know if you knew that. Did you know that?
I assumed it was not like full out Starbucks, but I assumed that they served like Starbucks products.
Yeah, it's called. It was like sometimes people say they're Starbucks, but they're really community something. Community. I don't remember, but that's what it was. So that wasn't even open. So I would go across the street, literally like across the street, pretty much, and there was a Starbucks in Kroger, and so that's where I got coffee like once or twice. And one time they even cleared her for coffee, so she got coffee. Actually, you got coffee twice from like because I
That
got
was
you one from
postpartum.
was it? Oh, really?
Yeah.
Both of them were. I think one of them wasn't. No, both of them were postpartum because like I got both of them from the coffee shop downstairs, and the coffee shop downstairs wouldn't have been open till Monday. Yeah.
Yeah.
So and then like I went and got my own dinner, so I ate sushi. I'm trying to think what else did I eat
I ate sushi one time.
with me.
Because it was like right after I ate sushi.
Hmm.
You had gotten sushi late at night, and I was like still coming off of all the medicine and like probably the adrenaline, and I was just tired.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was like a little bit like nauseous. And so I was like, I don't want a lot of sushi, but I think that like I had a few pieces of a California roll.
Oh yes, I do remember that. Yeah, so that was the second time we had. I had sushi another time by myself. I went and got it for us together, and our celebration dinner
Oh, yeah.
meal was.
We're totally out of order now.
I know. Yeah, what was it though?
We had steak and lobster on Monday for lunch.
Yeah, and it was really, really. I mean, it was definitely good.
It was like cafeteria grade
Yeah,
steak and lobster.
but everything coming out of the cafeteria was.
I would even say like red lobster. So it's like it's not like the best steak and lobster that you could have at their own separate restaurants, but like mediocre red lobster.
Everything was very, very portion controlled. Every meal, I don't know how to explain it. Like, it was just like you would, or at least I would eat, and then I would be hungry like an hour later.
Yeah.
So that's why I went and left so many times. Outside of once I knew what they had, I just didn't want some of it. So I would only try a few different things. He's asleep.
You want to put him back there?
Nah.
Okay.
What else am I missing?
Okay, so how do we get from Saturday to Sunday? It was a waiting game.
Yes, waiting game. I'm trying to think that anything special happened there.
This is so out of order. I hope you guys are following along.
Did anything happen? Like what? On Saturday?
They just tried other things. It was just really just waiting.
Yeah.
And then Sunday, so my doctor was on call on Saturday, so she was there, but she was obviously busy delivering other babies. And so Sunday, she was waiting, which, I mean, honestly, is just kind enough to come in and be the one to deliver him. So, like, technically it wasn't her work day. But she kind of gave the medical advice on how we should move forward. And that was, like, Sunday morning. So
on Saturday, basically the goal, if you're a man like me, or just a female who is not educated on all this yet, which is definitely okay, the goal of Pitocin is to help with contractions. Like, so you get a certain amount of doses, and every time you get a certain amount of dose, it can help bring the like stronger contractions on. And so you want to get up to 20. Is it 20? Or is that different for everybody?
They told me that there was like an amount of Pitocin. I'm not sure what it was, but it was like going up to a 20. And so they start you off at like 1 or 2, and then every hour they increase it until you can go up to like 20 something. I don't really know what it is, but it's just 3 or IV.
So, and the, yes. I'm remembering the other thing too about the,
but your contractions, you want them like about a minute apart.
Yeah.
So that you can start pushing.
The other thing I was remembering too with the epidural, she also had like a little button where she could press it if she began to feel pain, and it would like give her more doses, which is it's really cool that they like give you access to that. But
I could only do it like once every 2 hours. And then when I pressed the button, the nurses got notified.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, for sure.
But they, and to no fault of anybody, the epidural was placed crooked the first time. So kind of depending on what side I laid on, I could feel contractions in a small portion of my body, which was the issue Saturday night to Sunday morning.
And so after she basically, like throughout that whole process of like from Saturday to Sunday, the goal again was to get up to 20, but every time they would get to what number?
Like 10.
10. Like
the goal is not to get up to 20. They can go up to 20. If I had gotten up to 5 and my contractions were a minute apart and I was ready to go, then everything would have been fine. But they can get up to 20.
So as the Pitocin increased and as the contractions increased, it was becoming a little bit more difficult on him, and you would be able to see it within the graph. And so they were only able to get up to 8.
About 10.
10. And so because of that, like, we just weren't able to successfully.
So every time I had a contraction, about every 3 to 5 minutes, his heart rate dropped. But in between contractions, his heart rate was fine. And so it wasn't like an emergency, but it was getting more and more concerning that my water broke Saturday. And once your water breaks, you got to get baby out in a relative time. in a certain amount of time. So
Then that's when you had a call with Dr. Wynn. Or
yeah,
doctor.
my doctor.
Yeah.
And she basically recommended that since his body was distressed and my body wasn't progressing, we should do a C-section.
And so we decided that we wanted to try one more round. So we tried the round, same results pretty much. And so then we said C-section, we said C-section, and they were in there like so quick.
Yeah.
Like literally, I feel like within 10 minutes of her.
I looked back at like the text messages, and I think that like at 3:20, I texted. I had like a group message with my sister, my grandma, and then my parents, and I said like, getting rolled back now at 3:20, and then he was born at 3:49, and then you had texted them at 3:53, and so it was like within all that time, it was just like rolled back, prepped, out.
Yeah. And whenever he came out, the doctors were like, he's been trying to get out for a while. Mm-hmm. So,
because if babies are in like your birth canal for a while, they have a really big cone head.
yeah.
So he had a very prominent cone head.
Yeah.
But it's returning to its normal size.
Yeah, it is. So once he came out, first, I immediately asked for the APGAR score. And they were like, oh, we don't know yet. So then they actually started doing what they needed to do to get the APGAR score. So they were like putting a tape measure around his head. They were like looking at his feet. They were, obviously getting him to cry, patting him on his back, those different things.
He cried as soon as he came out, but
yeah.
Then just to like keep breathing, you got to keep crying.
Yeah. And so they were, looking at skin color, all this different stuff. Then they wiped him.
You know why they check his feet?
Check his feet?
Yeah.
For like?
It's really simple. Just to make sure he has all of his toes.
Oh, okay. Really?
Yeah. I mean, it's just like,
well, that's what I was thinking.
Or like, do we have 5 toes on each side? Do we have 5 fingers? Do we have 2 ears? Like, just.
Yeah. Making sure. So then, wait, what time was he born?
3:49.
3:49 on July 16th, 2020. 2020? I'm joking.
2020?
2023. Which is, she keeps telling me, should be easy for me to remember because my birthday is on December 16th. So same birthday of the month. Not the same month. But he came out. What was that noise?
I don't know.
Is someone over there?
I think that's just like the leather of the ottoman just like shifts and moves as the air changes.
So, he was born. I got to hold him for about 30 minutes.
I think it was about 30 minutes while
Yeah.
I was getting stitched up.
Yeah, while she was getting stitched.
If you don't understand what a C-section is, you're fully awake. They put a sheet right here, and so he can't see, I can't see. The doctor, like, cuts through my skin, cuts through my uterus, grabs the baby, like, grabs and pulls, and then pulls the umbilical cord and pulls the placenta out. And so,
very invasive.
while I'm awake.
Yeah, very invasive.
I can feel tugging, but I could not feel like it actually happening. So you can like feel the sensation of like, someone's inside my stomach grabbing another human out of it.
Yeah.
But I could not feel any pain.
But she did really well. I look back at the video, you didn't cry until he came out. And it was like mainly, I
was afraid. I cried before.
Yeah.
My doctor is really awesome. And she really encouraged me. And I was like, this is, God's plan for you guys. And so.
Yeah.
You're going to do fine. I understand what's going on. This is not like, nobody's in danger, but this is obviously the best option.
So then after that, we were basically rolled back to our original room. We had about 2 hours. I felt like less than that, honestly. And we just called family and friends. We I packed everything, took some extra stuff that we had brought back to the car, and then we rolled out and they played a birthday song for Asher over the intercom of the whole baby section of the hospital.
No, they told us that the whole hospital,
Oh, the entire
the
hospital?
whole hospital hears when a baby's born.
Oh, wow.
I was like, I don't want to bother anybody.
Oh.
I'm like, thank you, but I don't want to. That's literally what I thought.
So we pressed the button, and then we were, what's the T word? Transported to... Transferred to postpartum.
Yes.
Which we'll start that in the next one. Anything we missed in the middle?
So what was your thought on Friday?
Like
you woke up Friday like, I'm going to the hospital today. My son's gonna be born.
So I didn't really have anything to do. Everything was done. So I just thought that, we'll wake up. We're going to be just chilling around the house. We're going to go eat dinner. Like, that's the most important. Like, the milestones on my head were eat dinner and make sure it's Chick-fil-A and then go to the hospital.
He bought Chick-fil-A for lunch, so that was really sweet.
Yeah.
I think you, wanted to do breakfast or something like that, but it was a little too late.
So then I just figured we'll go into the hospital at 4. And that's the day. But since that didn't happen, I kind of got what am I going to do? It's too, because we don't know when we're going in, I don't need to start something that's not going to be able to be finished by time they call. And so I just kind of, I remember, just kind of launched, I don't know, just sat around and I think I watched some YouTube videos and stuff like that.
The nurse on the phone, when she called me the first time, was like, relax, go see a movie or something. Get your mind off of it. We'll call you later tonight. And so I'm glad that she recommended the movie thing because that, obviously wasted a couple hours.
Yeah, she really wanted to go see the Black Little Mermaid. And it was all right.
Live action. Yeah, I don't think it was,
It was all right.
The best thing, but...
Yeah.
I thought it was cute. As someone who watched The Little Mermaid probably 100 times as a little girl, it was nostalgic and I liked it. Right. Did you get bored at the hospital?
No.
Were you kind of relieved that you got a few chances to get out and
Yeah. If I would have, honestly, but if I also had to stay there, the only thing that would have been terrible is the coffee and the food, which wasn't that bad, because they have a lot of nice sitting spots around the hospital that I could have went and sat at too. Yeah. So if I wanted to get out, I could have went and sat there, and I did sit there sometime, but I wouldn't have mind staying there the whole time if I didn't have to. Yeah. But it was really nice having sushi because it was right around the corner. So yeah. And running home and taking care of stuff, that was also nice. Mm-hmm. So, but yeah, I think that is it for this podcast. Little man is sleeping, which is really, really good. You see his mouth open?
So he's really cute when he sleeps.
In the next one, we're going to be talking about our process as we've been home for 3 weeks, and also, I guess, starting from when we went to postpartum. Yeah. Did I miss anything?
I guess not. How long has this been? 45 minutes?
Probably.
This is 42 minutes.
See you guys in the next one. Peace.
Bye.